Ireland. Wow, well, let me think. Koshi, notice the level. No, you know, we got here on Wednesday, or we left Wednesday, got here on Thursday morning about 8:30, and Koshi picked us up at the airport, brought us back to the hotel, we got showered, and went and did my little voiceover, took a train out to this beautiful place, just out in the country. It was delightful. Came back, had a wonderful meal, went to bed at 8 o'clock because we were jet lagged, but woke up Friday and went on a tour and saw, went to Trinity College and saw the Book of Kells, and went to Christ Church and Dublinia, or the Viking thing, and then went to the Guinness Brewery. And stayed at the Guinness. I had several free pints. Can I have another one? Mine seems to be defective. And so tomorrow we're going to go, I think, to the Jameson Distillery, and maybe back to the Guinness Brewery, I don't know. And I think we're going to a castle on some tour, I can't remember. Where is it? Where? Malahide, yeah, on Monday. So what a beautiful country you all have. You all should feel very privileged that you live here, not in Texas. And what I really love, you want to know what I really love? I love your heat wave. Jeez. We're so sorry there's a heat wave. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like 50 degrees. I left Houston, it was 105 with 90% humidity. I was like, this is wonderful. Bring on the next heat wave.
I had this discussion with someone for another event coming up, like in Scotland actually. They were like, oh, we really, for October time, so I was like, we really would like somewhere with just air conditioning in the room because we really like to sleep cold. I was like, you do know you're coming to Scotland, right? The optimistic temperature in October time is 8 degrees Celsius. I think if you open the window, you will be cold enough for weeks. Surprisingly, they dropped the requirement for air conditioning at that point.
That would be a con I'd love to go to, because it's always been a dream of mine to voice a character in the booth and wear a kilt. Sans underwear. Not kidding. Question there, yeah.
Do you find it easier to act out when you're doing voices? Like, do movements to get the...
Do I find it's easier to move in this? You know, that's a great question. You know, this is what a lot of people do when they think of voice acting. They think, well, I can act, I can do my voice acting, I talk. So they get in the booth and they're like, okay, roll it. Look out, here they come, everybody, run. How was that? That sucked. Try it again. Really get into it, okay. Look out, everyone, here they come, run. Oh man, you gotta do it. So when you voice act, you have to be very careful not to move. You can't move your head like this because you gotta stay on the microphone, right? But you want to be very expressive, so you'd be like, come on everyone, run! They're coming! They're coming! My favorite thing though was, they were playing an audition, somebody sent in an audition tape, you know, like just trying to become a voice actor, right? You know, oh, I'm going to be a voice actor, here's my audition tape, and they were just doing all these different voices. And there was one of them where he was dying, and people think, and it's a very weird sensation too, you know, you're in a booth, and it could be a very small booth, maybe no bigger than this square here, and you've got a window, and you're sort of like a rat in a box, and you're just like, why are you looking at me like that? And you've got on headphones, and you're watching the monitor, and there's your script, and you're hearing yourself, which is a little weird if you're not used to it. But what's really weird, bring it all over. What's really weird is that your voice level in your headphones is not the level that's being recorded. So, you know, if like you're like this, and this is what you're hearing in your headphones, then really it's like this, you know, that's what's being recorded. So, okay, you die in this scene. This is where you get, you know, run through with a broadsword and they rip out your, right through your rib cage, so you're not just gonna go, ah. Yeah, people just go in, you get it like, ah. But to them, they're hearing it sounds like, ah. So you really have to just, you really have to get into it. I prefer to actually stick a sword in me and rip it right up. Yeah, great question. Yeah.
Like, do your kids or wife see any of the stuff you've done and think, that's not you? How could that possibly be you?
Yeah, except some of the shows they watch now, they've seen so many times. They're like, Daddy, that's you. You suck. Thank you, son. You're 6 years old. Yeah, no, I don't let them, I've got a 3-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 10-year-old. And I don't let them watch everything I've done. There's some shows I've done where there's been a little promiscuous behavior in the show, and I'm like, not going to let you watch that. But one of the shows that they watch, there's a little show called Kaleidostar, which was a fun little show we did. It's kind of based for kids. And then there's another show, it's not a very well-known show, but I got to tell you, it was one of the coolest shows I was ever in. And I got the pleasure of directing it after the original director, Sandra Crossa, had to stop directing. It was called Michelle, and it's Korean, and it's based on the book The Little Prince. And have you ever heard of it, Andrew?
Yes.
It's Michelle, and it's just a delightful little children's show. And of course we did Hello Kitty, which was awesome. But so they watch that stuff, and they do get to watch some of the stuff I've done, and they get a kick out of it. But one time, I will tell you this: one time when I was my oldest daughter, she was like 3 years old, and I had done Barney the dinosaur. I had done a Barney episode, a Christmas movie, where I played the father. And it was a wonderful experience, great time shooting everything. Anyway, we were lying in bed, my wife and I, one Sunday morning, and it came on, the TV. And my daughter happened to be in bed with us. And we're just all lying there, and she's like looking at the TV, and all of a sudden I walked on the TV, and she's like, how is that possible? And then I have commercials every now and then all there, like, there you are! Yeah. Oops. I don't think that was supposed to happen like that. Oh, questions over here? Yeah. I don't mean to neglect the awesome side of the room. Yes, Liz. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead. Kaleidostar, I played a character named Ken Robbins. Thank you. And that was a role that I loved to do, but I got probably the most hate mail over. Not hate mail, just, that is terrible. You're not good at that. And, just like, really? And it was because I don't usually play roles like that. I'm usually like a Sir Crocodile or a Lord Death or caretaker, like doing all sorts of weird voices, like that kind of thing. And this was just like, he had to be really young, so it was like, hey, Sora, how are you? Nice to see you. Well, I don't know. Go, okay, thanks. Thanks again, come by, bye-bye, okay, and welcome. Oh. Hey, we lost one, but we gained 2. All right. So it really sound affected, and it really wasn't, it was fun to do, but it wasn't my favorite voice, because it just sounded odd. Thank you. Yeah, Liz? What inspired me to become a voice actor? Money. No, voice acting for me, I love doing voice work, number one. Voice acting for me is the best of both worlds. I get to act and I get to use my voice, and it is so much fun to do. In Houston, it's better than being a roofer. So, nailing tiles on a roof or shingles on a roof at 105 degrees. But, no, I was in New York as a child. I was about I say a child, I was 15 years old and saw a Broadway show and decided, I want to be an actor. And my parents were like, oh my God. Really? Why don't you be a lawyer? Lawyers are like actors. They have to pretend things and lie about things. Maybe. And, but I stuck with it. I wanted to be an actor, and then I discovered voice acting, and I was just like, whoa, this is where it's at. This is a blast. I'd love it if, you know, I could do more. But just in Houston, it's very limiting. I lived in LA for a short stint, and did a little voice work there, and met a lot of interesting people, and actually met a guy there that later went on to co-star or co-produce a show called Family Guy. His name is Mike Henry, and he plays Cleveland. And he was a friend of mine in LA, and you know, of course, he went on to do great things. So, but yeah, I love voice acting, and I love creating projects, you know, with some friends of mine and stuff in Houston. We're working on this one show right now that maybe one day BEEZ will pick up. It's not an anime, but it's a show called Zeke and Zerline, and it's about an alien spaceship that crash lands into a trailer park in Texarkana, Texas, and puts it up on blocks because he can't fix it. And then he just has conversations with his buddy Zeke, kind of sitting here like this, and they're drinking a beer, just talking about stuff. And you know, it's just kind of silly commentary, satire stuff. So hopefully one day that'll be on the.
As a kid, I never stopped.